The human eye. Important terms to know regarding the human eye. Rods. These are receptor cells found in the retina of the eye, which are sensitive to dim light and help to distinguish between black and white. Cones. These are receptor cells found in the retina of the eye, which are sensitive to bright light and help to distinguish between different colors. Pupil. This is the central opening within the iris which allows light to enter. Pupillary mechanism. This is regulation of the pupil size to control the amount of light entering the eye. Accommodation. This is the ability of the lens to change shape during near or far vision. Convex. This is a shape which curves outwards, thicker in the middle than the edges. Concave. This is a shape which curves inwards, thinner in the middle than the edges. The receptors that detect light are called rods and cones. These are situated in the retina at the back of the human eye. The eyes are found as a pair positioned at the front of the skull. The field of vision from each eye overlaps, which allows a slightly different image of the same object from each eye. There are two types of imaging, namely binocular vision and stereoscopic vision. Binocular vision is vision using two eyes with overlapping fields of view so that the separate images are combined and interpreted as one image by the brain. Stereoscopic vision is the ability to form three-dimensional images, which provides the ability to judge distance, depth, and the size of an object. Structure of the eye. The eyeballs lie inside a bony cavity. Connective tissue and fat surround the eyeball to protect it against mechanical injury. The front of the eye is protected by eyelids, which have eyelashes to stop foreign particles from entering the eye. The colored part of the eye is known as the iris. The opening in the center of the iris is the pupil. The sclera is a wide outer covering layer. Figure 9 below gives a view of an eye from the front. The internal eye can be divided into three layers: the sclera, choroid, and the retina. These layers and other parts of the internal eye are shown in figure 10 below. The structural adaptation and function of the parts of the eye shown above are laid out in table 3 below. Sclera. The sclera is a tough, white, inelastic layer that covers eye towards the posterior. Adaptation. Protection of the eye because it is inelastic. The function of the sclera is to protect the inner structures of the eye and to maintain the shape of the eye. Cornea. This is a transparent continuation of the sclera in the front of the eye, which is convex. Adaptation. Transparency allows light to pass through. The convex shape causes refraction of the incoming light. The function of the cornea is to allow light to pass through and to also cause bending of the incoming light to create an image on the retina. Choroid. This is a dark-colored layer which contains blood vessels and pigments. Function of the pigment is to absorb light to prevent the reflection of light. Function of the blood vessels is to supply nutrients and oxygen to the cells of the retina. Ciliary body. This is the structure that contains ciliary muscles, and it is the thickened part of the anterior of the choroid. The function of the ciliary muscles is to contract or relax to alter the tension on the suspensory ligaments. Suspensory ligaments. These are ligaments attached to the ciliary body. The function of the suspensory ligaments is to hold the lens in position during accommodation. During accommodation, tension on the suspensory ligaments changes to alter the shape of the lens. Iris. This is the colored portion of the eye with an opening at its center called the pupil. The iris contains two types of muscles to control the size of the pupil. The function of the iris is to control the amount of light entering the eye through the pupillary mechanism. Retina. This is the inner layer of the eye which contains the rods and cones that are sensitive to light. The function of the rods is to respond to low-intensity light, provide night vision as well as peripheral vision. The function of the cones is to respond to bright light and provide sharp, clear color vision. Function of the neurons is to carry impulses from the rods and cones through the optic nerve to the cerebrum. Yellow spot. This is a small indentation at the back of the eyeball containing the most cones. It is the area of clearest vision. Blind spot. This is a small area on the retina below the yellow spot. It contains no rods or cones and hence there is no vision. It is an area where the blood vessels enter the eye, hence the inner parts of the eye are supplied with oxygen and nutrients, and it is also an area where the optic nerve leaves the eye, thus allowing impulses to be transmitted to the cerebrum for interpretation. Lens. The lens is elastic and biconvex structure behind the pupil of the iris. It is held in place by suspensory ligaments and it is transparent. Function of the lens is to change shape to allow the eye to focus on near and distant objects and to also allow light to pass through. Aqueous humor. This is a watery fluid found in the space between the cornea and the lens. The function of this fluid is to maintain the shape of the cornea, and it also plays a small role in the refraction of the incoming light. Vitreous humor. This is a jelly-like substance found behind the lens. The function of the vitreous humor is to maintain the shape of the eyeball, and it also plays a small role in the refraction of the incoming light.